Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yo, this is the second episode of the Real Talk Film Society podcast. I am Mr. Marin, and I'm joined once again by my man RB3. RB, what's good with you?
Isn't that much, man? Chilling, man. Happy to be here.
Same here, man. Yo, shout out to everybody that checked the first episode. I got so much feedback, so much good feedback from everybody. And it was really inspiring because, like I said in the last episode, I wanted to do this for a while. So this is my first foray into it, and everybody showed love. Everybody liked the perspective we were speaking on. So, again, shout out to all of you that have been checking in on us. And I hope you stay aboard. You know what I'm saying? So, RB, let's start off. I'm going to ask this every episode. What are you watching right now?
What am I watching, man? I'm watching a couple things. For one, I've been on my Wu-Tang vibe lately. Yeah,
okay.
Since season 3 is coming out, I've been catching the first couple seasons. So right now I'm like season 2, episode like 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of rocking with that right now.
I started that and it didn't really do nothing for me. You know,
Right.
Again, I'm from New York, so it's like I know when that's Hollywood, New York. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. So it didn't really capture me. And also, I mean, the Wu-Tang story is inspiring and all that, but it didn't really do nothing for me. Maybe I'm a spin back and see what's good with it. You know what I'm saying? Try to check it out. You know, anything else?
I'm an outside New Yorker, so I don't have that perspective. I'm
Nah,
just looking at it as,
I get that.
as
I
a
get
Wu-Tang
that.
fan and as a RZA fan, because I didn't know he wrote a lot of these episodes, apparently. So I was like, all right, that's cool.
Oh wait, he wrote the episodes?
Yeah, he's a creator of the show. He write multiple episodes. So it's written by RZA. So I'm like,
I don't want another straight out of Compton situation where people is just creating fantasies.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I did Easy in that. Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
man.
little crazy. Cruising down the street in March 6'4".
Yeah,
Right? No
they
way
had-
it sounded that bad.
They had your man looking crazy. In that one, man. You definitely did. I've been watching. Yeah, have you been checked out or heard of Last of Us on HBO Max?
Oh man, yeah, I've been watching that.
It was on
Yeah.
HBO, but I catch it on Max because I
Yeah.
don't ever catch it in real time. That joint is pretty good.
Man, I love that show. Man, I love that show. I played the game when it came out.
Okay.
So
Everybody told me to play the game, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get to it," and I never did. And it's like now that I'm watching the show, I'm like, "Damn, I wanted to play the game now."
Yeah, the game is very much more like action heavy than like the show is.
Okay.
They kind of dove down the show, but for storytelling reasons too. Like for the show is much better at adapting it for what the world is and what it's trying to be. So I love it. I'm loving what the show is doing so far. Pedro Pascal, man, he's
dope.
He's on a run.
He's dope. Yeah, it's just elite writing. It's great character development. It's like I'm really invested with every character that comes across that screen. You know what I'm saying?
with the Henry and the little Sam.
Yeah, I did. It's so crazy because I saw memes building up to that episode, and they're like memes showing like these people crying and stuff. I'm like, what's the? And it's like, oh man, like as the episode played, I was like, damn, And it was only black folks. Well, so far the only black folks really on the show, so it's like, damn.
Right.
But what I also been watching, I just checked out Whitney Houston. I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's the name of the film. It was first I Want to Dance with Somebody, and then they added the Whitney Houston onto it. I don't know why, but that just dropped on VOD and on physical media. I know you saw it before. Let me know quickly what you thought about it.
I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool. I didn't hate the movie, but I thought they moved so fast through the story, and I hate when biopics try to do the cradle to grave, and that's what this movie was trying to do. Trying to do like from her very beginning to right until she died, literally to her getting in the bathtub. I thought that was kind of crazy, but I thought it was just kind of entertaining how they just like. What was that website that we didn't read the books for, but we just kind of...
Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes.
Yeah,
It felt like a Cliff Notes version of somebody's life. You know what I mean? Literally down to the songs. The song, they didn't even... A normal movie would have played the whole Super Bowl performance out. This movie gave you like only the last like 30 seconds of it, and then kept it pushing.
I'm glad you said all of that because what you said specifically about the cradle to grave thing. All right, when the movie started, the first red flag for me was seeing the Primary Wave Media logo in the opening credits, because Primary Wave, folks, if you don't know, they acquire the catalogs for a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? I got hip to them because they just recently got like half of Prince's catalog and stuff like that. So when I saw Primary Wave, I'm like, okay, they're going to sell me music. This is not just, we own it now, so we need credit. No, they're going to sell me music. And unfortunately, that's exactly how the film played out for me. First of all, the first like third of the film, that whole Clive Davis signing Whitney, and that could be in a film of its own.
Yeah.
That could be because let's be real, Whitney Houston signing is one of the biggest monumental things to happen in music.
That part.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that solidified Clive Davis was Clive Davis, but that really it's Whitney Houston. She's an icon. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like what they're about to do now with Ben Affleck, the Air movie,
Air Jordan, yeah,
which I want to see. They're following just the signing of Michael Jordan. You're not getting, Michael Jordan's not even in the film. I would like to see them do something similar with Whitney's story. Just show me, because I think we got it started off so strong because even the Robin character, we just got little hints to little things. It was so sweet and handled so well. And Casey Lemons directed this joint. You know what I'm saying? She did East by You, Caveman's Valentine with Sam Jackson. So she knows what she's doing, and unfortunately, she came across like a director for hire on this film. Like, I just feel like in the moments like Whitney being signed, like moments like that, we've really seen her work, her craftsmanship show. You know what I'm saying? Just for it to now, after that, Whitney gets signed and it becomes VH1 Behind the Music, the movie, because it's like we now start to get defining moments in Whitney's career, just back to back to back to back. It doesn't even leave room for story. It's just like, oh, look when she recorded this song. Oh, look when she did this. Look when she did that.
She's on set with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And they didn't show his face. They just showed that one little clip like looping.
Right. Oh, she's at the Soul Train Awards now. Oh, she's about to get booed.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown is there, and
I asked your boy, what's his Ashton?
Ashton Saunders.
Yeah.
Listen, man, God bless you, my brother. You doing it. You getting paid. That's what's up. He, respectfully, he is not that guy, man.
Yeah,
he's not.
He ain't it.
He's not it, man. Like, he's just, his Bobby Brown, he's dancing on stage, and then they wanted to make him the villain. At one point, I just did not buy the whole rock. Well, okay, backtrack. If you see the Whitney Houston documentary, Whitney, in 2018 or something like that, that was great.
Great.
They should have never did a biopic after that. Like, that gave us everything we needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really wanted the nuance and the details of Whitney's, struggles and stuff, it gave us all of that. Like, it gave us all of that. So that's why I even question the existence of this biopic. It's like, what is this here for? But again, going back to the music, it's like they just want to get her streams up or something. Like, let's just let's just throw a bunch of her music in this film, because I'm telling you, bro, after a while, there was just I feel like I was sitting there, and every time I look back up at the screen, it was another performance, another recreation of some, it was just the music, which, listen, it's Whitney Houston, I love it. I love her. I'm a fan. I love her music, but would you call, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you call What's Love Got to Do with It a music biopic?
What's Love Got to Do?
That's Tina Turner.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if it fits. I feel like it's mainly about Ike and Tina.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's a biopic in the same way that this movie is.
Right. And I wouldn't mind, again, going back to Whitney's beginnings, I wouldn't mind a deep dive into that as a full film. You know what I'm saying? Or even, the
Bobby and Whitney. That could be
that could be a film too, if you really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything just felt like it felt like a collection of like short films.
Yeah,
just
scenes, musical montages.
Yeah,
and that's really, and they said it was from the writers of Bohemian Rhapsody. Whoa. And that's really that same vibe that movie was too.
The same vibe.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Well, see, the thing is with Bohemian Rhapsody, I didn't know anything about Freddie Mercury and them. I kind of knew of him, but I wasn't really tapped in. So it was cool to see. I never saw it after that first time, to be honest. Like, Rami Malek was good. Naomi Aki is the name of the woman that
Yeah.
played Whitney. She was good.
She was good.
She was very
She
good.
produced the film too. One of the producers.
Oh,
on
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she was one of the producers on it too. So
she was good.
Yeah, she was good. She was really good. I mean, I think, I think the way they, I think the actual lighting and like the actual cinematography of it, I thought was really well done too. But I thought, when you talk about like you said, that shit literally was like song for song, life moment after life moment.
Yeah.
Like it really didn't feel like a personal story after the first half. The one thing I did learn was the Robin situation. I didn't really learn. I didn't really. Yeah, that's something they did talk about in that documentary.
Yeah,
but even my mom, she's a Whitney Houston fan, but she's old school. So she's like, well,
it's crazy. The Robin thing kind of was like, it was something that people knew of. It was like a rumor, a long-standing rumor, but it wasn't until the book, Robin made her own book and that Whitney Houston doc, that's when it really was like, oh, okay, this really happened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wish they handled that. They handled it nicely, but it was so brief. It was just like blink and you miss it. Robin's out the film, then she pops back into fake argue with Bobby Brown. It's like you can't bite. There's no tension there. It just pops up like, oh, let's just showcase this moment. It's just I didn't really. I will say this though, again, Casey Lemons is a fine filmmaker, and there was moments. There was moments like. There was a moment when she was talking to Clive about her relationship, and they was playing "Why Does It Hurt So Bad," which is one of my favorite Whitney songs. They was just playing the instrumental as she's talking and she's breaking down. That was a great moment.
Right.
The moment when she did the Star Spangled Banner and they were cutting to families reacting to it.
Oh,
which, if you remember the clip that went viral, there's a clip that goes viral of a bunch of brothers the day of, like watching her perform, and they like. Hooting and hollering at the TV, like you could tell that I was inspired by that. That was nice, But the film, it didn't do nothing for me. I will say it's better than All Eyes on Me. You know what I'm saying? It was either like
I was comparing it to that.
Yeah, I was like, is this film gonna be All Eyes on Me bad now? But it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't. But it just didn't do it all the way for me, man. And it was unnecessary. Yeah, it was unnecessary. I didn't need that. But I didn't go to see it at the time. It was either that or House Party, and I just
going for House Party.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is better in hindsight, though?
Oh, Jesus Christ! This shit. House Party was fucking terrible, man. House Party was bad. This had redeeming qualities. House Party just I don't know what that was, man. Yeah. I don't know what that was, but
Speaking of music biopics, though, man, they killing me on my YouTube channel about my Elvis review.
By the way, I really like that review. But I mean, I know you was referencing things that I was there for.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
When you was saying how everybody was talking about how great the movie was, you was trying to avoid it, but everybody was gassing the movie. I still didn't see Elvis yet. I actually meant to watch it after I watched your review. I didn't get to watch it yet, but
they've been killing me for it. It's crazy because I said the movie was good, but then I said, why should I like a movie about motherfucking, stealing music? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I for some reason whites didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Listen, man,
that's how I go though. Sometimes
that's how it is, man. Anytime black folks got an opinion on anything, they get a little bothered by it.
Right. You saw it from the You People review.
You People thing.
It
was like, I mentioned, and mind you, I'm saying, hey, white allies, y'all are okay. The ones that know better, y'all are okay.
Right.
And they didn't. They was like, how I'm being divisive, and even my Black History Month posts on the IG page, Real Talk podcast, Real Talk Film Society on Instagram, by the way.
That's right.
I posted on Black Y'all clip from CB4, a comedy, which clearly the whole I'm Black Y'all rap thing, that was a joke in itself because he's just a shallow, he's a shallow revolutionary, you know what I'm saying?
Getting white chicks and stuff.
Yeah, he didn't really, and the whole song's I'm Black, he black, blah, blah. People was under the comments really like, no, you're not black, you're brown.
Yeah.
Oh, why you keep telling people you're black? It's like, did you not see CB4? This is all a part of the joke.
The joke, right.
Man, listen,
that's the movie, man. I mean, that's a funny movie.
Hilarious.
But two, that clip is that clip. Every time that clip comes out, that should be a Black History Month theme. That should be a new Black History Month theme song.
Yeah.
Fuck the Black National Anthem.
Yeah.
We should,
we ain't gonna say fuck. We ain't gonna say fuck the anthem.
Fuck the national anthem.
Oh yes,
put the
absolutely.
Black national anthem in that place.
Yeah.
And then let's start singing the C4 song.
I'm Black, you black, y'all.
Yeah, right. Let's start doing that at the beginning of the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
Yeah, man. It's just It's just when you Black and you have a platform, the angry white's gonna come for you. It is what it comes with the territory. It is what it is. But we here. We not changing up. We got opinions. We gonna get them off.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But recently, Real Talk Film Society was invited to see Creed 3. Once my man RB gave me the call, I made sure I dropped everything I was doing to go check out Creed 3. It's just funny because I actually reserved a ticket to see it a little early with AMC, but we talking like 3 weeks early. Yo, am I gonna turn that down? You crazy?
Right.
So we have the official review for Creed 3. I know if you follow either one of us, you've seen our thoughts on it. If not, we're gonna tell you right now. RB, give us your thoughts on Creed 3.
Man, for me, Creed 3, this was, it's early in the year, but so far this is my favorite movie I've seen so far this year. You know what I mean? I had a lot of fun watching this. It was a thrilling ride. It was, legitimate. I felt like boxing that you could feel the punches, you could feel the tension, you could feel the conflict inside the ring and outside the ring. All that building up to a really strong emotional core, really strong arc between Jonathan Majors, who playing Diamond Dame Anderson, versus our character Adonis Creed. And I'm a decent Rocky fan. I like a lot of the Rocky movies. You know what I mean? Honestly, my favorite album has always been Rocky 3 because of Mr. T. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of see that this movie was taking a little bit of inspiration from that. But I like that it took it serious, and I like that it took it to a real level and took it seriously with the aspect of like incarceration, you know what I mean? Where it took it seriously with the fact that this dude's just getting out of jail and he's looking for that one last shot. It could tell that he's like desperate for whatever it means. And Jonathan Majors, man, we're gonna talk about him a lot throughout this episode, but to me, this was one of the best performances I've seen in like I don't know if this is I don't know if you call Creed 3 necessarily a blockbuster, but like in terms of a bigger budget or bigger franchise movie, one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. Like for me, you talk about, everybody talks about like Heath Ledger, you know what I mean, R.I.P., all these other legendary performances we see in big movies, right? But to me, he really got to the rawness of, somebody from South LA, somebody who's got a massive chip on their shoulder, somebody who feels like they've been cheated from, by, pretty boy Michael B. Jordan, by, Adonis Creed, somebody who had a silver spoon in his mouth, and he's like taking that pain and putting that pressure on the entire movie. I just dug it, man. I thought they did a really good job. Michael B. Jordan, first time director, surprised me. I thought, I thought, I always joke about him, being the face actor type, you know what I mean? But honestly, like that shit was, he really directed. Like he really had some thought into some of these boxing scenes, which was like cool. I didn't, sometimes it's just easier to be a actor-director who's focusing more on the dramatic scenes and letting the DPs and all that handle, the action stuff. But you could tell there was a voice and what he was trying to do with those scenes, and I think they came across really well.
Absolutely.
So
Creed 3, for those that don't know, stars Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson, Felicia Rashad. Wood Harris is in this, and Creed 3 is the third film in the Creed franchise, which spins off from the Rocky films of the 70s and 80s. And basically, what happens in this one? Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, his friend comes out of jail. Diamond Dame, played by Jonathan Majors, and he comes out of jail with some unsettled beef or differences over the years, and they basically settle the score in the ring. To follow up what you said, Michael B. Jordan as a first-time filmmaker, I was pleasantly surprised because I'm not going to lie to you, and I might sound like a hater. I don't care. It's not really, I'm not hating. This is just something that I do. Anytime I see first-time filmmakers, especially like notable actors or personalities, I kind of look for the flaws early. I'm just kind of like, it's your first time out. Let me see if the acting, you know what I'm saying? Let me look for little things, if they trying to do too much and they fail at this, they fail at that. I quickly forgot that this was his first director, this was his directorial debut. Yeah. It was just seamless. Everything was so good. And kudos to him, because he does something in the film that I've never seen before in a boxing film. And one thing I do like with first-time filmmakers is when they take risks and they do something different. That shows like you're willing to shake the table and do something a little different. You don't want to color in the lines. I applaud you for that. You know what I'm saying? Some of the maverick filmmakers, they first time out, they've done that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh wow, like he's really trying. I don't know if it worked for me per se, that thing that he does. Right. And this is going to be out before the film comes out, so I don't want to spoil anything. But he does something in a boxing scene that is just, I don't know if it worked for me. Right. But the fact that he did it, it was commendable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting because if you can read my reviews on Geeks of Color, and you can see my video review on First Cut as well, the shorter version, before we talked about it here. But yeah, in my my Geeks of Color review, I said the same thing. That scene is probably going to divide you if you're coming into this movie for the first time. How you're going to make or break on the movie. But at the end of the day, it looks like a lot of people are, even if they're not loving that scene, they're still liking what he's bringing to the table. So far, it has like over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
there you go. Yeah, there you go. And then of course, the clear winner of the film is Jonathan Majors. Oh yeah, Jonathan Majors is amazing. What he's doing, he's actually having one hell of a year right now. Yeah. Between this film, Ant-Man Quantumania, which was another one. How did you feel about Ant-Man?
Man. I wasn't fucking with that. Okay. Yeah, that shit was
I've heard people say
ass to me, bro.
Yeah, I've heard people say it's one of the worst MCU films. I don't think it was that bad. Yeah. But to be honest, I've never been fully invested in the Ant-Man films.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of went into this, as a Marvel MCU fan. I kind of went into this just to see what they were going to do with it, and it was cool. But Jonathan Majors, man, he was really, that Kang character. Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good in a slap of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to me, like, I mean, if man, if I'm being real, like, I'd probably consider the whole Ant-Man movie in general probably the worst MCU movie for me. Personally. Really? Yeah. We're talking about people saying it's the worst.
It's worse than Thor: The Dark World?
Oh man, easy for me.
It's worse than Captain Marvel?
Easily for me. Easily. To me, every single second of that movie he did what he did good, but even the scenes he was in were either color corrected poorly, either
we got the filmmaker analysis. That's what you come up with.
I mean, and then the whole quantum realm thing, all of that looked terrible, bro. Like the whole pink, all the pink sky and all the gooey little fucking character like that, that had the holes in.
Yeah, it was
I
couldn't
wacky. Believe what I was watching, bro.
It was wacky. Sure.
That's just me. You know what I mean? I don't want to hate too hard. You know what I
mean? I will say this, that even though it was decent, I got through it. Yeah. There was a lot of things in it that made me feel like, okay, this is why I'm not really into Ant-Man films. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, all right, like, if he wasn't in this, I probably wouldn't have gone to see it, to be honest with you.
But yeah, but you're right though. The one thing that makes it watchable, the one thing that makes it good is seeing Jonathan Majors doing what he's doing. Yeah. Because he is, even more than that, because with Thanos, he has that CGI, Josh Brolin got that CGI covering his face. So you're not getting that real human performance. With Kang, you're getting a dope, Jonathan Majors just going ham, the scars on his face. Sometimes he got the blue lighting on, so it looks extra intense. Yeah, he's really nailing it here. And then seeing that contrast from, if you watch the Loki television show and you saw that scene at the end where he's He Who Remains, and the contrast and characterization with that, and what looked like we were going to be going forward with the the post-credit scenes with the multiverse of Kangs and the Victor Timely stuff that we saw at the end of the movie. I think that's gonna, spoiler alert, the movie's been out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this one we can spoil this one.
Right. So, but yeah, I think I'm excited to see what the future is gonna hold for his character for sure. He's definitely, in terms of the casting, he might be the best cast Marvel villain we've seen.
And that was my main criticism about this Ant-Man film, is that it feels like filler. It feels like it's just building up to the next thing. It's not really giving me. I don't feel like, it kind of lands. It gives me a solid story. It doesn't. It feel like the film is incomplete.
Yeah.
It feel like it's a two-parter and it just ends. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it just builds onto the next thing. But Kang is the next best thing to look forward to. Seeing that character and all these different variants, in the MCU. And yeah, man, and again, sorry to go back to Creed now. Another thing I give Michael B. Jordan, all right, we know Jonathan Majors is a great actor, but how many films have we seen great actors just mail it in?
Right.
A lot of it comes down to directing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of films with great actors that just they collected a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? But no, he brings it as a Diamond Dame. Yeah. Very intimidating. He's intimidating as hell. Yeah. I think you said something at the end of the screen. You said typical Cali dude that gets out of jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I got the ankle bracelet on. Yeah. Just walking around the streets, like you literally see just dudes like that literally coming out like, oh man, come on, cuz, like, and just ready to fight. Like, and like you see them stereotypical gangsters you see in like Martin or like all these old TV or even like, even like shit like Boys in the Hood, you know what I mean? And all the old 90s stuff. That's literally what those dudes were. He probably got locked up in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Right. And now he's barely getting out and seeing like the world's changed, moved on without him.
And he comes out kind of awkward. He's like, he has this thing about him, like, like you could tell he's trying to adjust in it. But when he's on. And he's coming for Creed. I loved every bit of that, man. That was so, he was amazing in the film, man. He was really good.
He was good, and I'm glad they didn't go in the direction of making it too sensational, because sometimes we see in those especially with like Rocky 3, right, that's taking inspiration from, a lot of times they get too amped up with like the trash talk and like making that whole angle of it, that the beef was personal, you know what I mean? And it seemed like every kind of conflict they had, even from the very first scene, like when they linked up in a diner together, that scene felt like something that was that tension. You can just feel the tension just right off the bat. So I think he, kudos to Jonathan Majors for getting that performance, but also kudos to Michael B. Jordan for getting that performance out of him. Because, I always say, like, directors, they could get stylistic, they could make choices, they could have big visual moments, but the number one job is always making sure you get the performance out the actors and making sure you get the because the actors are the ones telling the story on screen. That's who we're connecting with.
Absolutely.
And he did a great job with Jonathan Majors. He also did a great job with everybody in the cast. I think, we could talk about Felicia Rashad.
Oh, yeah.
Too. She was amazing in this film.
Yeah.
Wood Harris, always good in these movies too. Yeah, the whole cast I think was spot on. But Jonathan Majors was really the highlight for sure. Definitely the scene stealer.
Yeah. The only thing I could, and at this point that's a nitpick. Because Creed is one of those films. It's a popcorn film. Yeah. You ain't really going in to see Academy Award winning performances. Even though I think did Sly win one?
He was nominated. He was the front runner for the first film. Yeah.
Even though that happens, when that happens, that's always dope. But that's not what you really go into these films for. And not only did you got the performances, but there was some predictable elements. There was something that happened early in the film that was like, we're going to see that come back around at some point in the film. You know what I'm saying? It was little things like that. But like I said, it's nitpicky because at the end of the day, you're just going to have fun. And them fight scenes, man. Like Michael B. Jordan said that he was inspired by anime.
Yeah. He said something like some of those punches you could see come from like Dragon Ball Z punches.
One punch in particular, I saw it was ripped directly from anime. I was just he got the fist caving in his stomach, and he's just he's bent over. I'm like, oh, that's some anime shit right there.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, Michael, he's spoken openly about being a huge anime fan too. So, and that's something that's another thing we don't talk a lot about in the Black community. How there's a lot of people who grew up on nerd stuff, anime stuff, and that's kind of not been the topic of conversation. Yeah. Like old girl, that clip of old girl has been going viral. Who was interviewing Michael B. Jordan, and she called him corny in high school type joint. Yeah. I mean, listen, Revenge of the Nerds, man, it's coming back. I mean, it came back in a big way.
Hey, man.
So
this is there's a lot of people. A lot of us would probably be called corny if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Back in the day.
Yeah, all of us would be called corny because it was like you had a certain especially as Black men. you got a certain aesthetic they expect you to be. And unfortunately, even within your own, they kind of want you to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so if you show that, you know, I'm into skateboarding or I'm into you know, comic books and games, it's like you're corny. You're a corny brother. You know what I'm saying? Or cornball brother. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, man, it paid off. Clearly, it paid off because you know, he took his love for anime, it translated into the film, and it was dope. And I feel like you will definitely come out. First of all, the franchise is 3 of 3.
Yeah, all 3.
Every
film.
By
the way, a franchise where all 3 black directors. All 3, you know, black all majority black. I think, all black writers. If I'm not mistaken, for Creed 3, I know for sure Creed 1, Creed 2. First 2 Creeds, you know, USC graduates, fight on, baby, Trojans. But yeah, that. It's amazing seeing a franchise like that thrive and putting new names. Look where Ryan Coogler's been since the first Creed. Look at where Stephen Cable Jr. he's on doing a new Transformers movie. And he just got something else big coming up. So, and now I'm excited to see what Michael B. Jordan doing next because I definitely think he showed the craft.
Yeah, and even for him to even get that and, you know, film the IMAX again, his first film. He didn't have to do any show and prove. I wonder if he has anything like short films or something, like, you know, like did he do anything before?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. You know, I don't know what he did, but yeah, that's
a big, especially for a brother, for them to sign off on that, like, yo, all right, we're gonna give you the budget and everything. That is a lot of trust. That's kind of crazy. You don't really hear that often.
Well, you know, they put a lot of investment in them. It seems like even more investment than they put in Sly to come back. You know, in these movies, I think they kind of realize, hey, listen, there's no more room for Rocky. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of over it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But didn't Rocky get sent to Canada at the end of the second film?
Yeah, he was trying to hang out with his son. He's trying to hang out with his son. Yeah.
Let his old ass go up north. That's okay. We don't need any more Sly, man. You did what you had to do. The Creed films are a force of its own at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I hate when franchises constantly go back, like the flashbacks. It's like, all right, I get it. Like, for example, this last Jurassic World trilogy. Terrible.
Right.
They fumbled Star Wars. Right. The Disney Star Wars trilogy.
Star Wars.
Terrible. Fumbled the rock because you want to just play into fan service and constantly go back. Go back to the point where there's no story, but you going back to just shove Lando in our face. You shove it, you dig up Darth Sidious from I don't know fucking where. And you're just like, oh yeah, he's back. How the fuck is he back? How does this happen?
He just came back to magic blood.
Yeah.
And then they just made some magic blood happen.
And then tell you, but if you played the Fortnite games,
right. Yeah.
Why the fuck do I have to play the Fortnite games to know this?
Because how did she there was like some force healing that happened. I know where my brother got, I
don't know.
Kylo, he got stabbed and she like rubbed his belly and they got good.
I don't know.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
That makes sense to me.
I don't know. Fan service is fun sometimes. It's like, oh, look, that's cool. But when you just pad it into a film, it's like, all right, y'all hiding something. There ain't no motherfucking story. But it's a shit ton of fan service.
Right.
And yeah, you know, with the Rocky franchise, you know, I was, you know, when I saw Rocky Balboa, which granted, it was like the first follow-up since Rocky 5 in 90s. So
yeah, Rocky 5 was super trash.
Yeah, terrible. Right. So yeah, you had to kind of, you know, especially for me, I was 18 in 06. So I was going into it kind of vaguely knowing the Rocky films, but it was cool that, you know, the little flashbacks here and there. That's cool. But you know, I remember when Creed 2 came out because Ivan Drago's son was in Creed 2.
Yeah.
I remember on Twitter they were like, oh, you got Clubber Lang's son. It's like, yo, don't start doing that now. Not everybody's son can't be. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. So they went somewhere totally different.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And it was fun. It was fun. This is one of those films I guarantee you're gonna have fun with.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. If we had to rank all 3 Creeds so far, how would you rank them?
I want to say the first film was the best one. The first is always the best. Like the best. It depends on what your preference is, but like the first is always the well-made one. Like it's always almost always the better one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like for example, with Scream, which I'm looking forward to Scream 6. By the way, I'm one of the biggest Scream fans out there, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think the first Scream is a perfect film, but my favorite is Scream 2 for many reasons. You know, so it's just this one. I think Yeah, I think the first one was probably the one, but not for nothing. Creed 3, it comes close. I think it's definitely better than the second, and that's not to say the second was bad, but this one was definitely memorable for many reasons compared to the second.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I definitely think this one. Not to say Creed 2 was bad either,
right?
But it didn't have that same memorable. There's definitely 3 or 4 scenes that you remember out of Creed 3.
Yes.
Whereas Creed 2, it doesn't really have that much, in it. First Creed, you have those memorable moments like that one take boxing sequence, and then you have to me, I remember a lot of those flashbacks when he was a kid, like in the system. Those stand out to me. I think those are powerful. And you have Stallone's performance, so that's good. But honestly, for me, I might put I might put Creed 3 as my favorite
I'm not mad
franchise.
At
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a little recency bias. Maybe we just saw it and that's got me feeling that way. But this is to me, it's the all around picture. It's a great villain. It's a great hero story. It's a great villain story. It's a great just the overall piece. And I will say though, if I do have one criticism that is definitely significantly weaker in this film than the last two, is definitely Bianca's storyline at the very least. I think she, Tessa Thompson's good in it, and I think she has some moments where she divulges her ambitions and what she wants to do and how she's feeling. But there's definitely not as much as she had in the first 2 Creed films, at least in my opinion. But.
Yeah, well, not for nothing. The story and the character dynamics between Creed and Dame, Adonis, Creed and Dame, it just took up. I don't think there was really space for anybody to really. Even Felicia Rashad, who she's in it, but you get moments with her, but I feel like their story just took up so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was like. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would like to see what was left on the cutting room floor. Honestly,
I would love to see. Yeah, I would love to see a longer extended cut. If they were to. But hey, it looks like it's projected to make about $45 million opening weekend, 45 and 50 million.
Okay,
including IMAX release, which is dope. So again, if y'all are looking for a good boxing movie, it's PG-13. I believe it's PG-13.
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't think it should be. I don't think it's rated R. It's rated R. Definitely go. I recommend checking it out.
I definitely recommend checking that out. Like again, it's a fun popcorn flick. Like you know what I'm saying. You and your boys. Your girl. Your girl might want to look at Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan. First of all, Jonathan Majors. He looks like a fucking action figure. He is ridiculously. What's so funny? Every guy I've talked to this film about. We talking about, I want to see this movie. Yeah, yo, no more, but Jonathan Majors. Every guy, this is, we're not attracted to the brother. God bless him. He's doing the things he's doing, but he looks amazing. Like he's physically intimidating. He's just a beast.
He's literally towering over Michael B. Jordan in mad scenes.
I found myself even looking at the abs. I'm like, look at the definition on that. This is crazy. This is unfair. The little He-Man action figures, he looked like one of them shits.
He literally looked on some crazy shit.
He looks crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. He like I said, he went all in with this one, and he's definitely somebody to look out for. I think he's arrived. I think this is it's
gonna be his year.
Much respect to Denzel and everybody. We over here we respect all our elders and the people that paved the way. But I think this is now. I think Jonathan Majors is gonna be one of those ones.
Yeah.
I think it's like he's good in everything. Everything he's good. I'm not gonna front. I didn't really care that much for Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah, I never watched that movie all the way through.
Okay,
being honest.
I didn't care too much about it. I might run it back now. With in hindsight, it's 2020, so I might see it a little differently now. Have a little cinematic reappraisal. Run it back and see how I feel about it. But I liked him in Five Bloods. He was good in that.
Yeah.
But he had again Ant-Man, Creed 3.
Did you watch Lovecraft Country?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I fell in love. Not fell in love, but that's why I was like, yo, this guy.
That's what put him on.
Yeah.
That's what put him on. I think as with the Five Bloods. That's with all Spike Lee films. I feel like anybody that's in a Spike Lee film at some point they're gonna take a leap. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always the showcase. You know, I feel like that's like the unsaid rule. You know, unsaid rule. If they're in a Spike Lee film, let's offer them something big. You know what I'm saying? Because they almost always do something big right after. And then right after the Five Bloods, he had Lovecraft Country, which was amazing. It's a damn shame that it was canceled. Man. I don't know what the fuck happened with
HBO,
that.
man. What's up with that?
I don't know. That was dope. Did you remember the I think it was like episode 3 or 4. It was like a horror episode. It was like it was like in a haunted house. That was like some of the best TV I had. I was like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah.
It was that for sure. That definitely put him on the map and definitely gave him that leading man persona or look that that Hollywood is going to come calling for eventually.
Right. And it's crazy because he has Ant-Man Quantumania this year. He has Creed 3. He also has this little boxing movie coming out called Magazine Dreams that premiered at Sundance this year.
I heard about that.
Yeah. This premiered at Sundance, and apparently he's getting a bunch of award speculation. It's too early to call it award attention. But a lot of speculation for that movie too. He's playing a bodybuilder, and I don't know. So I don't know what he got cut up for. Right? Was it the bodybuilder role, or was it the Creed 3, or was it both at the same time? I don't know what it was, but whatever it is, he could be looking at a year where he's in a high grossing comic book movie, a popcorn sports Creeds movie where everybody's acclaiming his performance, and a potential Oscar nomination for indie film.
And he just came off of Devotion. It was like he was like a pilot in that film.
That's right, like that. with Glenn Powell from
somebody.
Yeah, and directed by J.D. Directed by black directors.
It's a black director on that.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Yeah. On Devotion, I didn't watch it, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I seen commercials, and I was like, okay, he's in something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he has a great year coming up, man. I'm looking forward to whatever he's doing going forward. He's officially one of them actors that was, Majors is in it. I'm going to check that out.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Who else is in that tier right now?
Oh, Anna de Armas, she's the chick that played Marilyn Monroe in Blonde. She said something about there not being any more movie stars nowadays. Said that social media kind of ruined the mystique and allure of the movie star. There's no such thing as a movie star nowadays. And, I think she's got a point. It's kind of, I can't really think, Majors is on my, I'm checking for him, but I can't really think of anybody else right now that's like, up and coming or like one of those ones, you know what I'm saying? That's really going to, like they'll sell. You remember back in the day when it was like movie posters, but then again, you were, RB is a little younger, so I'm talking about the early '90s action star days where a fucking movie poster would say Schwarzenegger, and then the name of the movie would be at the bottom, and it would be so small and minute, like because the movie stars used to sell the films. I remember there's a poster for Cliffhanger, and you see Stallone's mug on it, but you barely know the name of the movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's anybody like that now.
Yeah. No, it's tough finding true movie stars. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, I think he was / is there, but even still, even smaller movies that I do, like A Journal for Jordan that came out, or Journal for something, I forgot what that movie was. It was that one didn't do as well. There's a few movies that actually have, Tom Cruise might be, but we're talking about legacy people at this point.
Oh yeah, he's legacy.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is that artist that you go and you like, they're gonna perform that song from like 50 years ago.
Right.
That's Tom Cruise at this point.
Right.
Same with Denzel.
Right.
Denzel at this point is cemented. Like they're like not even real at this point.
Right. They already got it. Yeah, but in terms of new movie stars, you're right. It's tough. I mean, in terms of on the lady side, or on the white lady side, I'd say probably the closest was like Florence Pugh for a while.
Oh, I like Florence.
Yeah, because she had that she has the Marvel stuff too going on with Thunderbolts and stuff, but she also was, I think she was pretty much the selling point of that Don't Worry Darling stuff. They had to drum up this whole fake drama around it too, but that essentially was like her marketing piece.
And Florence is cute too.
Yeah,
she's nice to look at.
Fine. Yeah, she's fine as hell. Yeah, she like 25 too. What's up?
Yeah. She's right up your alley, RB.
Not my alley. It's tough to really get new movie stars. They're not breaking stars, and
Yeah.
you know, it's the thing with the Marvel and the IP characters. When the person's attached to the IP,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to break out of that. It's so funny. A lot of people don't even realize this, but Zoe Saldana is literally in 4 of the top 5 movies of all time.
Yo, I've noticed that the other day. I was like, oh shit. You know, but then her name
right.
don't ring.
Exactly.
It don't ring.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to think of she's not even little parts in these movies either.
Right.
She's a big part of Avengers Infinity War
Yes.
and Endgame. A big part of Avatar 1 and 2.
Yes.
If you go into the later part of the top 10, she's a big part in that Pirates of the Caribbean movie that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in these big movies, but again, the IP, it's the characters. There's not really enough original new characters that are coming to life that people can get attached to. So it's a little tough.
Yeah, man. I wonder what her asking price is, because she's in a lot of big shit. I would
Right.
think after a while she's like, look, you gotta pay up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, you know, if Chris Tucker was getting $20 million a picture at one point, she got to be getting a little something. But then again, you know, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. She's a woman too. You know, those dynamics is like. Unfortunately, she's a black, brown. What is Zoe Saldana?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think she black. You know what I mean? But you know, she did that dark skin stuff with the Nina Simone.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about the Nina Simone film.
Listen,
Oh,
she
my
put on the blue paint for Avatar. She put on the green paint for Gamora. She thought she could put on some black paint real quick for for Nina, bro.
That was not a good look. That wasn't a good look. Oh man,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that
It's
is
crazy.
disgusting. But what films are you looking forward to, RB? We're at the top of the year. You know, we in the first quarter of the year. There's a lot coming soon.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
There's actually, man, I was actually looking at it the other day. There's literally so many movies coming out in 2023. I just kind of have to look at this little list. This is a terrible list I just Googled. But at the top of my list, man, I got a shout out. Looking forward to what's that new Nolan joint that's coming out?
Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Is that the one
yeah.
when he like recreated the atomic bomb?
bomb?
Like he
yeah.
really yo, Nolan's intense, bro.
Yeah, I just want to see it.
He's a sick motherfucker. That motherfucker's intense.
Right. You know that sound's gonna like blow out your eardrums too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going back to the recent, I just saw Cocaine Bear, bro. I just saw Cocaine Bear.
Before we go into that,
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with that. Cocaine Bears, the story about the bear stumbling on. They say it's based on true events. Of course, they're playing it up for the film. It's going to be like a comedy kind of situation. Why are they going so hard to make this a cult classic? Whatever happened to the days where cult classics was like
organic
films? Yeah, right. Organic films that came out, everybody ignored it, and then it lived a life of its own over time. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened to that? It's like they're going hard to make. It's almost like another Snakes on a Plane situation.
Right.
And my dumb ass went to go see Snakes on a Plane, and I was one of them hooting and hollering in the theater when Sam Jackson, these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking planes. Yeah, I was one of the idiots in the theater, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But why are like? I get it. Like it's I guess it's fun. It's just, I guess it's the same reason why we go see the Marvel films, like to have some fun. But I just feel like they're just going too hard to make it like a cult class, like make it a silly classic.
Edgy kind of humor with the trailers and all that kind of stuff.
So that alone kind of made me feel. Oh, and also Elizabeth Banks directing it. I was really put off by the way she handled the Charlie's Angels failure.
Yeah. I didn't watch the movie.
Glad you said that. I didn't watch the movie because it looked like shit. It looked like shit, and when it failed, she blamed men.
What? Like what?
Like,
men didn't go to theaters or something? Like,
it's men ruined the film. It's like, look, stop it, shorty. The movie wasn't good. Like, even women stayed away from the motherfucker. Like, it was not good.
Right,
and then and it's just, I don't want to say bitterness on my part, but see people like that, you know what I mean? They tend to fail upwards.
Right, that's real.
Their films bomb. and they get another $300 million film. Not to say that Cocaine Bear is that much, but they get opportunities.
It's kind of crazy because if you're not like an astute observer, you don't even know Elizabeth Banks directed that movie. You know
right.
Like, a lot of people just go into it just thinking, "Oh, I'm about to see a barrel of cocaine." They have no idea Elizabeth Banks is doing. That's kind of like almost the most layup situation like of all time.
Yeah,
it's like the concept is so sellable. It almost could have gone to like any director. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just kind of wonder like how did that whole process go? Like, did they pitch it to her? Did she pitch it? Like, where did that go? Because like, if they literally handed this to her, I feel like, damn, that's just the biggest layup of all time. But I'm not trying to hate. I like the movie. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, let me get my nitpick out the way. Let me know what you thought about the film.
No, I thought it was funny. No, I did think it was funny. You know what I mean? I think the way they advertised the comedy of it, and they definitely leaned into the comedy more into the actual film of it. I liked it, and but it's goofy. It's just as goofy as you think it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just as dumb and just as like over the top.
Snakes on a plane situation.
Yeah,
it seems like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's this generation snakes on a plane.
Yeah. They definitely lean into it. I think in 2023, a lot of people are more in tune with like tone and know like when they're trying to lean more campy or when they're trying to lean, more serious, or when they're, it's intentional or unintentional. I think a lot of the humor was intentional throughout it. So like, it's funny, but it's also not like funny because we're like laughing at it. So it's a little bit, I guess what I'm trying to say, it's a little bit forced. It's a tiny bit forced. You know what I mean? But, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, night at the movies. Listen, man, they just trying to get asses in seats. You know what I'm saying? They want people to have fun at the movies, and I get that. So, maybe right now when I get over myself, I might try to check it out. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I was definitely turned off by it. Right. Just the reach of it all. It's just like, again, you're trying to make it this cult class. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me find the film. Let me feel the way about it. It's like, I feel like a lot of the marketing efforts is telling you're gonna like this. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, all films is supposed to sell films like that, but this one just feels a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I have been hearing the same things from everybody. Everybody's like, look, I have fun with it.
Yeah. So. It's cool. It's just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? It's totally worth it for me on that level. Okay. I was gonna say though, I'm looking at this most anticipated list. I'm looking at this most anticipated list posted by Rotten Tomatoes. Not a lot of like huge movies. I mean, there's some big movies coming out this year. Mm-hmm. Transformers, if you into that, Guardians 3, The Flash. But to me, I mean, there's two that piqued my interest. David Fincher got a new movie coming out on Netflix called The Killer. Okay, that's gonna come out with Michael Fassbender. That's cool. Actually, there's three that stand out. The Marvels with this is Tiana Paris. Yeah, Tiana Paris.
What was Captain Marvel?
Brie Larson. Yeah, and
the
new girl
the
from
sister that played
Miss Marvel. Yeah. That's directed by Nina Costa.
There you go.
Yeah, so that one's super exciting. I mean, to me that's exciting because I loved her first film. I forget the name of it, but and of course Candyman was cool.
Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman was dope as well. And then of course, I mean, I don't know if I'm like really looking forward to this, but they doing the Color Purple that they did on the musical. Yeah, they're bringing that.
I love musicals, man. I'm not gonna front.
Really?
I love musicals. I love musicals, and if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying I'm running to go see Mamma Mia or anything like that. Like, it gotta be something I'm into. I do love musicals. I forgot The Color Purple. Yeah, the Broadway musical, they bring it to film. The film was intense. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The music. I would love to see the music kind of cut that down a little bit. It looks like it's gonna star Haley Bailey, who is that her name from Halle Bailey?
Oh, from not Color Purple. From
Little Mermaid. Yeah. Okay. And Taraji P. Henson. So Louis Gossett Jr. and her.
What?
So yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr. I haven't seen or heard of him in a minute.
Right. Okay. Yes, I'm hyped for this, and it's set in the early. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's set in the same time as
same time, right?
Yeah. Same time period. Yeah. So again,
do we have a black filmmaker this time?
That's a good question.
Much respect to Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, black filmmaker.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so we're moving in the right direction.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm more leaning on. I want to see, the Transformers. I'm not. I wasn't crazy about the Michael Bay Transformers films. I actually tapped out after the second one. But the Beast Wars story, I was a fan of the Beast Wars cartoon. So
Oh, really?
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see that on the big screen. And Anthony Ramos. He played Mars Blackman, and She's Gotta Have It. He's in it this time. So I'm looking forward to that. And then The Flash. I'm a Batman '89 guy.
Oh, The Flash. That's right.
Michael Keaton. I know Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller low key almost got. If it wasn't for Michael Keaton, I wouldn't have gone to see that film. To be honest, I'm there for Batman. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm there for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm also low key rooting for DC Studios to get it together because they're that whole last regime, they put out a lot of trash. So they said that this film resets everything. So I want to see. I'm low key rooting for them. So I want to see what they do with this one. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I haven't really. Oh, I almost forgot my guy Ari Aster.
Oh, he got a new one coming out?
Yeah, Bo is Afraid is with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. As I saw the trailer, but it's very vague. It just looks, it's a bunch of things happening. I don't know, but after Hereditary and Midsommar,
oh yeah,
he's getting my money for sure. I'm gonna go check whatever he does.
Dude, I might have rapped with you about this before, but have you seen his short that he did? We gotta talk about the Johnsons.
Yeah, again, he's a sick motherfucker.
That was as sick as I had I watched that film when it first came up on YouTube, 2013, 2014 or whatever. No idea that this dude had did that. And then I saw Hereditary and I saw Midsommar, and then I saw that again afterwards because they were I looked at his IMDb. I'm like, yo, what? He did. This was literally, bro. He's always been on that top tier, weird shit, but something dope at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Dope.
Yeah.
Crazy dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to hit that. That's probably the only things I'm really looking forward to. Maybe something. Oh, and of course Scream 6, which comes out in 2 weeks.
Right.
So I'm in there opening day. My daughter, who's 9 years old. I was 9 years old when I saw my first Scream film in theater. So she's now a Scream fanatic. So I'm passing on the throne. I'm gonna be doing that with her. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be good. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the films I'm looking forward to.
You think is Ghostface in this one? You think he's a New Yorker because he's wearing those Timbs?
Oh,
in the trailer. What's up?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, we at the top of the show we talked about Hollywood, New York. The fact that they filmed that in Canada. I seen the trailer where it's supposed to be a bodega, folks. If you don't know about the bodega, it's the little store where you get your bread, milk, and all that stuff. It's always small. It's like the size of a room. It's dirty. It got a cat in there. A cat is on top of a loaf of bread somehow. And yeah, the store was too big. It was too lit. I seen a white man behind the counter. I'm like, nah, this isn't. Yeah, whoever did this, they not really from New York. So that one might be a hard one to get through. Just looking at the architect and shit.
The Timbs. Why is he wearing black Timbs?
Yeah, like laced up too, choked up. We don't wear Timbs choked up like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be looking at that one with a little side eye. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be in there nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? RB3, thank you again.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yo,
sir.
This guy has been pulling through for me. Yo, he made my dream come true to be here talking to you right now. So, RB3, give him all the thanks for RB3. Yeah, we're gonna come back soon, man. We're gonna come back soon. We're gonna talk. I really plan to do more. Have guests at some point, and just the first episode we did the list and stuff like that. This one we dabbled in a few different things. We're just gonna be figuring it out as we go. But I'm glad to be here. Check me, Mr. Marin, at MrMarinKnows, MrMarinKNOS. Please follow Real Talk Film Society on Instagram. REEL Talk Film Society. RB3. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. And you can also stream my short film Timestamp on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. That was episode 2 of the Real Talk Film Society. We will be back soon for more. Thank you for checking us out. Peace.
Coming soon to a theater near you.